Morning, welcome to the video. It's Tuesday, must remember it's Tuesday. So it was bank holiday Monday yesterday. I don't work bank holiday Mondays, and actually it was fortunate because it was an absolutely torrential where I was all day, so certainly wouldn't have got any work done. And actually that's how I structure the whole week, is that I never do regular mowing on a Monday, because you lose effectively a week's worth of mowing through just losing Mondays. And you can either try and fix it in here, there, before and work weekends and stuff like that, but what I tend to find is it's quite difficult, particularly with my setup currently. Whereas what I'll do is the lawn care, I'll always do lawn care on Mondays, as long as springtime lawn care is done during the springtime. There's not too much of an issue whether it's this Monday or it's next Monday. So that's how I always do it, that Monday's on a lawn care day, or lawn care's on a Monday. So yeah, had a nice day off yesterday, good family day. It's now Tuesday, which is a regular fortnightly mowing day. So you've been out on this route quite a few times. One client who I was looking to get rid of because it just wasn't really fitting my route, that was the one which was really long and had never had a cut. I've got that down and I've got that looking comfortable, looking good with some regular mowing. I was going to cancel it, but I left it. I cut it 2 weeks ago and then he cancelled, so I kind of got the impression that he wasn't really that bothered. He just wanted it like down short enough so they could use it. I half expect to get a phone call in a month's time saying, oh, it's got too long again, but that's tough. He's gone now. As I say, I wanted to get rid of him anyway. Just nice people. Bit of a faff as well, because every time I pulled up I had to wait for them to move the car off the drive so they could get the other car out the garage, so I could put the mower through the garage and out the other side, and that was all a big faff that I just want to come and go. I tried to encourage him to put a side gate on, which he could do, but he wasn't really having any of it. Just before he did email me to say that he wouldn't be requiring the service anymore, I filled the gap already. So obviously I had the new one last 2 weeks ago, which was the really long one, which I had to sort of incrementally hack down, and then I've got another one nearby to that, which is one cut by a robot mower, but the guy just wants me to go in periodically, do the edging, but actually he's quite keen for me, he quite likes the stripes, so he's quite keen for me to sort of let the mower do its thing and then go in regularly, maybe fortnightly, just to stripe it up. So as one goes, another one comes. So it's worked out quite well. So anyway, I'll show you those, and then we'll go back to that lawn that I seeded, and we lifted the fleece last time I was there, so we can have a look at that one and see how that's developed and how that's come on. I have to add also that although yesterday was torrential and there's still, there's everywhere I look, the sky is blue, and it looks as though it's going to be dry all week, all weekend, and we'll be looking at sort of average temperatures about 20 degrees. So that is perfect. Be considering sun cream next. First property, and two things of note. One is, with the rain and the temperatures rising, things are growing. So now we've got that real kind of like spring rush with regards to the growth, that crazy spring growth. I'll show you. In the last video I was talking about the stalks. There you go. These are less sort of blades of grass and more kind of stalks. It's very high. So this is like sort of six inches growth. Remember, this was fortnightly. So this is kind of like mad growth. It's not been like this so far this year. We'll have a couple of weeks like this. We will have a couple of weeks like this before it calms down a little bit. Also, the other thing, because of the moisture and the rain and the temperature, we now have serious amounts of weeds that are growing. So what I will do is spray these off. This is a fortnightly lawn, and I don't really pass by here, so I need to, you look at the sky. Is it going to be raining this time in 2 weeks? I've no idea. It's not particularly windy. It doesn't look like there's going to be any more rain, so we have to spray this because we don't know what the weather's going to be doing in 2 weeks' time. Could be really nice, but really windy. And then what we don't want is the wind to blow the the weed killer onto the lawn or onto flower beds, etc., etc. So when the conditions are right, get it done, because you never know what next week's going to be like. Okay, busy morning so far. I've been getting out total weed killer where I can, making the most of the weather. So we're now, if you remember this lawn, and you remember what it looks like, and here we are. Long, long turfed grass, long, long seeded grass. So that there is 1 month old from seed to grass. Hey, not bad, eh? Not bad at all. Cut the turf bit's a bit yellow where it's gone down to 4, but we've got to get it down. We can't keep it that high, it's just impractical. And then there's the seeded stuff looking pretty good. So yeah, I think what we'll do now is probably find some kind of feed next time I'm here, just to help promote the new grass. Nothing too strong with nitrogen and stuff like that. I don't want it to get out of hand. It is Wednesday and I've been to the wet lawn, and I can confirm it was wet. The front lawn was manageable and doable for lawn care, but the back was just back to square one again. So hopefully this week, you know, glorious weather, 21 at the moment, but I think it's like, you know, 20s, average of 20s all week, which is fantastic. I've been to the second big fortnightly of the day, and now I'm at the third, which is a really big one. And what's quite difficult about it is it's really big, but you've got this entrance here, which that's about 1 metre. This is to get into the back garden. You've got this entrance to get into the back garden, and then you've got this entrance to get to this, and this goes right up to the fence, sorry, the hedge, and then you can see a gap in the hedge, and then it's not quite the same size, but I'd say it's quite a big area back there. So you can kind of work it, just about make out the stripes. I cut this with the Time Master and it's okay, but at the end of the day it's pretty long. Now there has been a car parked in the garage, but in theory we could get the mower through this door. I've measured the gap and it's just really tight. So until I get the mower to that door, I don't know if I can bring it in. This is the big mower, by the way. Although the car's gone, the client's out, and I think it's an electric garage door, and there doesn't seem to be like a button to open, so I think I need a key fob. So I've got a few other jobs to get on with while I'm here. There's a load of topsoil. There we go. Load of topsoil. So in the back garden there was a bigger flower bed. They made it smaller and now it's all sunk. And the client asked me if I could fill it in a little bit. Now we're in a, I don't know what to call it, orchardy kind of area. There's a few sort of, obviously you've seen me do this. And there's this low spot here, which is sunk. Now the client said to me last time I was here, she said, I've got a couple of bags of soil, could we fill in the low spots? And I was like, yeah, show me. And she showed me the bit at the back, and I was like, you're gonna need more than just a couple of bags. And she seemed a bit confused. Fortunately, the bags were literally there. So if I show you now this low spot, I don't know how low this looks on the camera, but what I was able to do was chuck that in there, and that is about level. If you see the root, obviously if you can imagine, you flatten that out a little bit, that's level. So what I was able to do is actually go, right, okay, well you're going to need 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags, 5 bags, 6 bags, 7 bags, you've got the 8th, 9, 10. So buying loads of those bags is not cost effective. What you need is a loose pile being delivered. I don't think she got it. It was only when I put a bag in the hole and just said, look, do you see how that bag's completely lost? That she actually sort of believed me that this bag wasn't going to be able to do it, which sounds crazy, doesn't it, really? But it was such a good visual aid to show her that. So anyway, that's turned up, so I need to get this grass all cut, and then I need to get that all out. Okay, 6 barrow loads in, so all I'm going to do is just with the back of the rake, just sort of spread it around a little bit, tread it in, and then see how much I need to top it up. Getting that final rake in there, it just means that the seed all falls down into the grooves and around. So what we're looking to do is get as much seed to soil contact as possible. What we could do also is with the back of the rake, just rake it over again. I've got another area here and here. I'm going to do those bits, and then what I'm going to do now, bearing in mind that we're, I don't know what, 7th of 8th of May now, there's not really going to be any chance of frost, but what I am going to do is put these fleece over, purely because all the birds are going to be putting on weight like there is no tomorrow, and we really don't want that. So we're going to put this down afterwards just to avoid the birds getting on it and eating it all. We've got a tap and a hose over there, so the client, she hasn't got to do too much, but you know, it will be stress to her. She's got to water it in, particularly as it's going to be 20 degrees all this week and no rain. We've been saying we don't want rain, and now we're saying we do want rain. Okay, all done in the front garden. Now we will see if the client keeps it damp or not. Only time will tell. We'll check back in 2 weeks' time. The client didn't turn up, isn't here, so I've had to use the Time Master to cut the back lawn, which is it's what I normally do, so that's not a major problem. It's just the fact that I've brought the tractor up here and not had to use it, so I've took that back. Now I'm in the back garden, and as I said to you, this is initially where the client first said to me about she wanted some areas done. So this is a horrible bit of grass, and it's low and it's uneven. And she said, look, there's some low bits, can we fill them in? And I was thinking, oh great, these are the ankle breakers. Anyway, so you've got this hole here, you've got this hole here, you've got this, you can't really see, but it's sort of all uneven, and there's a big dip in there around the roots and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, there's a big kind of dip down there, you can't really see it. That's what I thought she wanted me to do, and then she was like, no, just this bit around here. All right, yeah, if that's the bit you think's most important, we'll do that. So anyways, this is what we're doing in the back garden, and then if I've got any left over, and I will do those bits. Morning. So as you know, yesterday I took the covers off, and here we have the lawn. Now you can see up here it always struggles a bit more than it does down here, and that's because that half doesn't get any direct sunlight on it. And the reason for that is normally by the time the sun's moved around to up there, the car's in the way. So the wall blocks it there. The sun's over there at the moment, the wall blocks it there, the house blocks it, then the cars block it, so it never gets any direct sunlight. Now, when germinating seed, sunlight isn't a factor. However, what sunlight does do, or direct sunlight, is it warms areas up. And what it will do is it will raise the temperature of this half here, so that is why you've had better germination. Okay, so just back at yesterday's seeding job, just finishing off the areas. A few spots, there you go. some of them were really deep, proper ankle breakers. Okay, Thursday. So Thursday morning was, oh, you've seen that lawn. You've seen that lawn. It was just hacking it down really because it was so long. Now we've striped that bit up. You can't really see it because of the sun. But now on the paddock, which again is pretty long. So as I've sort of look, if I there you go, that's a better shot, I think. And there you go. So all we're doing is just hacking it down. Last week I did that paddock, and I'm just using the John Deere without the back on. So just for it to engage the blades, you've just got to keep this bit down. That's like the safety switch, and then all the grass flies out the back. But the problem is it's quite a long way it's got to travel. So it was just constantly bunging up. So it's not the most ideal tool for doing this job. But today it's nice and dry. Although it's really long, it's nice and dry. So it's working perfect. When I said to the client, and I've had these issues before, that all that remains now is for her to water it, she looked at me like she'd never heard anything so ridiculous in her life, and she said, "I've got to do it." And I was like, well, yeah. Who else is going to water the seed? And she was like, oh, okay then. So I knew there'd be an issue. She's done this before to me where she didn't water it, and then she told me that my seed was out of date. And I was like, I can promise you that I don't keep seed long enough for that to be an issue. So anyways, I've put my hand underneath there. That is bone dry. Now, if you've watered that area, this has not moved one bit. So in yesterday's video I said we'll check back in 2 weeks' time. I don't expect there to be any difference, which is annoying because you do this work and you want results because it reflects good on you, and when things don't look good they reflect bad on you, even though it's got nothing to do with you. And I can stress as much as I want, you need to keep this seed damp. 24 hours later nothing's happened, so it is what it is. She's wasted her money. I mean, ultimately these levels, these areas are getting leveled, but if you want seed to grow and you want them to blend in, you've got to put a bit of effort in. So it's just annoying, isn't it? So it's about 6:30 now, so what I'm going to do is give this a nice dry cut, put a little edge down there just to tidy that long stuff up, then give it a cut, probably setting 4. Don't want to go too short, but what I want to do is just sort of take out that long stuff there and ultimately give it a nice roll, because you can see there's lots of footprints in there where people have been walking all over it. And then what I'll do is I'm going to give it a feed, and I'm going to give it a feed with Convert 15-12-15. This is with 2% magnesium and 5% calcium. This is a balanced NK fertilizer with P for improved root development, ideal following overseeding. So that's what it says it does, so we'll go with that. But the first thing we're going to do, and I recommend this with anytime you're cutting new seed, is change the blade. Not necessarily for a new one, but definitely for a sharp one, and also give the deck a real good clean out. Okay, Friday, sun's out. It's been really hot from very early this morning, so got the boys dropped off, and now at the first property. Now remember, last time we were here, we didn't scalp the lawn, but we took it down pretty low with the 56, and then we gave it a double verticut and then cut it again. So I'll include a photo now of what it looked like if you didn't watch last week's video, and now I'll show you where we're at. Okay, so there's a stripe in there. There's a bit of a car in the way, but not bad for a week's recovery. So this is a lawn from exactly a week ago, which got the same treatment, cut short and a verticut, double verticut, and fed, and as you can see it has bounced back. You can't really see this one, it's in the shade, but this has bounced back lovely. This lawn I've taken care of since 2018, and yeah, that's really what we're looking to do on these lawns, is not knock them back, but just do enough to aid them into looking good in the second week of May.